Smoking hot Mexican Cocobolo custom Phillippi Q available in the inventory for immediate shipping at Crossroad Q's. Pay attention to the top of the post or the bottom of the post, depending on where you're watching this at, because when it sells, and it definitely will sell fast, we will mark it sold. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, we try our best to keep up with our postings, but our website is usually always updated. If you're looking for that perfect, what we like to call in the cue industry and the pool world, the perfect everyday player, I believe this would tickle your fancy right here. Made by one of my very good friends, Mr. Rick Chandler at Phillippi Custom Cues. Now, normally, to get a letter of authenticity, you got to get a really high-end cue or something that's very collectible. But since Rick is such a incredibly nice human being, and we've got a great relationship with him, I was able to get an LOA on this cue as well because we purchased some other cues from him. Kind of neat, if you like the provenance, as I like to say. This is Cocobolo, and what I want you to notice, you notice how it has that kind of, I like to say lava red, right, or hot red. Kind of looks like it's on fire. This is what they call Mexican Cocobolo, okay? Then you have some Central American Cocobolo. It has that deeper, darker, rich look to it. Is there a difference in the playability? I highly doubt that. But when you're dealing with the aesthetics or the look or the beauty of a cue, that is subjective. Some people like the darker stuff, some people like the lighter stuff. But in any event, Cocobolo forearm and butt sleeve, black Phenolic joint with the radial pin, white Delrin butt cap at the bottom. You can notice you've got the double white rings at the butt area and the joint. And I'll tell you what, you've heard me say it before and I'll say it again. These are some of my favorite wraps right here. They're not the most expensive, but man, do they feel good. That is a matted black pigskin wrap. A lot of the cue makers were not able to source this quality of pigskin, and it is back by popular demand. The weight of this cue is 15.5 ounces. Nice forward balance, radial pin. It's got a heavy maple shaft with it right here. That is straight grain maple, of course. 4.1 ounce, 12.95. 12.95. Now, why do I say that this makes for a perfect quote-unquote everyday player, or you could use it as your bar cue, your league cue? I'll explain to you why. Number one, when you're dealing with a Phillippi, and those that know, if you don't, I'm going to tell you, you are guaranteed to get a cue that's going to hit really good. This is an uncored forearm. What does that mean? That means that the species of wood that you're seeing, in this case being the Cocobolo, doesn't have wood underneath, okay? And there's good and there's bad to that. But for practical purposes of this video, I want to explain to you this is uncored, meaning that the Cocobolo is the Cocobolo, right? So you got a little bit more weight up front, got the radial pin. It's going to hit extremely solid. So that's one reason why you want to use this as your everyday player. Number two, it is made by one of the best of the best of the best. Rick has been making cues in the legendary shop in Pasadena, Maryland for many years. He builds really high-end cues. So anytime you can get a cue like this from a world-class cue maker without spending thousands and thousands of dollars, you're getting a bargain on something that you're not going to want to put down. This thing's going to play just like a really expensive cue. The main reason why I say it makes for a good everyday player, if you're going to leagues, you're going into the bars, you're going into the tournaments, you want something that's going to perform without attracting a lot of attention with real flashy inlays or different ring work and have a chance of getting it stolen, this is that perfect cue. It's a sleeper, but man, oh man, it's going to perform on the table. It's available right now with the letter of authenticity at Crossroad Cues. It'll be on the website shortly, crossroadcues.com. If you want financing, we've got it, and we ship lightning fast. If you buy today, we'll get it in your hands within a couple of days. Phillippi Custom Cue. These players are really hard to get a hold of. Rick is not making a bunch of the player quality cues right now because he's so busy working on higher end cues. and he has a lot of repairs to do. So if you want the opportunity, maybe you have a production queue and you want to break into the world of custom queues, here you go. Phillippi in the house.